Welcome everybody to another Sunday sermon with your host, Mr. Banks, and your major host, No Risk, No Premium. We are not financial advisors. Nothing to be taken as financial advice. Purely opinions are stated.
I'm always the co-host. I just grab the
I'm
mic
the
from Justin and
co-host.
never let him fucking touch it again once I start rolling. And Justin's smart enough to just be like, yeah, I'll just let him go. Anyway, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Had a lot of good commentary before this got started, so hopefully we make sure we hit it as we're going in here. But very nice drop in the markets last week, right? I mean, basically all of last week. I just want to start off with seeing this weekly outside candle. Everyone and their mom is talking about it. Everyone and their mom on Twitter is bearish. So this is a good time to be short-term bullish, in my opinion. Now, let's go on to the week of what to expect and why we can see a possible pop or retrace. First thing first, Daddy Powell, Mr. Fuck Yo Putas, might have turned into Mr. Fuck Your. I mean, so he was Mr. Fuck Your Calls. Or no, he was Fuck Your Puts. Now he could be Mr. Fuck Your Calls. Okay. But he comes out this week. FMOC meeting. FMOC meeting. Okay, starts Tuesday. They don't really have any news headline bombs that day, but Wednesday he comes out and discuss the contents of the meeting, which is right here. Okay, right here. But for the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lots of housing stuff. It's basically the builders index, building permits, housing starts, and then existing home sales. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is all about the real estate market, which is good. It's a good benchmark to figure out what is going on, because that was one of the asset classes that got completely inflated during COVID, during quantitative easing. Rates were insanely low. Money was the cheapest to borrow, and everybody seemed to go buy a house, which bid the cost of all the prices up. So now you want to see in a healthy economy, right? The home builders index, building permits. Are people still forward thinking? Do they want to create a new home? They want to build a new home because there's still demand for those homes to be bought. There's still a need for those homes. Are there buyers? Okay. So that'll be a good inclination to start the week out. All right. To see just from a health check, you could call it, right? From the economy. All right. Then on to Daddy Powell comes on, right? You know, he comes on. The notes of the meeting come out 2 p.m. He starts speaking 2:30. Okay. He starts speaking 2:30. We'll have a special sermon, 2-minute drill Tuesday night that discusses how we play that. And I'm pretty sure in the week leading up to that, if you're in our community, Wolves of Wealth community, we will be discussing the few different strategies we use to play that. I'm sure Carter will be in there. BK will be in there. They love to do some straddles. Ivy plays. Dan will be in there. We'll discuss how we play post the news drop as well. So you'll have to wait till Tuesday for that. Then on to Thursday, we got the initial jobless claims again, right? You have the current account deficit for the percentage GPI. Then you have leading economic indicators onto the manufacturing PMI for the S&P there Friday. So still a pretty loud week of stuff. The elevated VIX expected to probably be a little bit more elevated this week, I would think. Okay, now let's go on to see if there are any Fed speakers besides Daddy Powell this week. It just seems like he is on the 21st here. Sorry. So just Powell here. Okay. We have this meeting Friday, which I'm positive is probably led by Powell. If it's about the Fed, it's probably led by him. So he'll be speaking twice this week. Don't think they had it on this calendar. Right. And if he's not speaking, whatever comments that they are saying, because what are they saying? Transitioning to post-pandemic economy. Well, we're here right now. Are we in a recession? Are we not? Is it actually strong? Is it not? Is the labor market what they say? Is inflation actually 7% or 8%, or is it 15%? I don't know. Okay. Are they going to continue to raise rates as they see fit? Who knows? Right. Always, again, guys, we talk about economic data. I think this is important for me to say. We talk about economic data. It's important. You need to understand your macroeconomics, okay? But the macroeconomics are not always reflected in the charts, okay? So these are not right. Like the means to the end. This is not the absolute definites, right? Because technically with 8% inflation, highest in 40 years, SPY should be at 0. Okay. If you're playing the news realistically, right? No technical stand. No, you're not playing the chart. Horrible news. We're in a recession. Oh my God. Stock market should shut down. Shouldn't even turn on. Okay. That's not how it is. Okay. And if the market reacted to economic data how we believe it should, then we'd all be rich as fuck. It usually does the opposite. Okay. It usually does the opposite. Is there a reason why we held a major support Friday after a huge down week? Okay. To only squeeze into close to knowing we have the Fed speaking, right? Is the chart telling us that you need to get bullish this week? Maybe. Okay. But if anything, the market should be down another 10% because holy fuck, the Fed's coming on to speak again, right? They're probably going to raise rates again, right? So it's smart to know economic data, but it's not, you need to understand the chart and always play what the chart is telling you, not what your heart is, not what your bullshit bias sediment in your head is. Okay. So just remember that we talk about the economic data, but it's not the end all be all. Okay. Now, on to earnings. Justin will come on with his special pick here in a moment, but look, Lennar, right? You guys don't know what Lennar is. It's Wednesday. Lennar is a luxury home builder. Well, a home builder, they do have some luxury homes. So I worked with them, or I was in the industry where they were a competitor of some clients. I'd spoken to them. Anyway, they do well, right? They do well. It's all home building. It's all home building. So like I said, with all of that real estate data in the beginning of the week, wouldn't it be smart to listen to the actual company that's in that space? Yeah, right. We want to see what's happening. Are they building new homes? Are they not? Okay. They're getting new building permit contracts. Who knows? General Mills, the other one I'd like to see that is General Mills cereal. Grocery store items, right? For the most part. So are people, the consumer, still spending on that? FedEx obviously warned last week about the whole no economic outlook, which in turn had dropped us Thursday to Friday, because if FedEx is not giving outlook, right, then FedEx can't do it. It's unknown if they're gonna be able to do their job. What is their job? Deliver packages that who buys? Consumers. If consumers are spending, economy strong. If they're not spending, not good, right? Not good. Okay. And on to the final one. Justin, you can talk about this and your reasoning why is Costco. We all love their
Costco,
hot
yes.
dogs, but do we love calls this week even more? Question mark.
I like Costco a lot because if you guys if you guys go to Costco, Costco's packed every single day.
Yep.
But on top of that, you got to think, you might think, okay, the economy might be in shambles. Things are inflated. Prices are inflated. So what are people doing? People who are smart are going to start buying things in bulk, right? We even saw during COVID, Costco was it.
Yep.
And so I think we potentially can see a run up into earnings for Costco. Of course, if they miss, we could, that's earnings, but I think we definitely could see a bullish run into earnings with Costco this week. And I think I'm most likely going to be taking a weekly on it and letting it sit starting on Monday.
Yeah, I like that idea, Justin. I think you make a good point there. As far as when, people think recession, oh my God, you're not spending, right? Justin's thinking the opposite. Okay. Wouldn't you be more conscious of your budget? Maybe it'd be in best interest of your budget to buy in bulk, right? So that's why Costco being a wholesaler is always good. Plus hierarchy of needs. You got to have a roof over your head. You got to feed yourself to live. Okay. So people will start to budget more tightly on, extra curricular type activities, hospitality, restaurants, flights, hotel, travel, et cetera, right? So if we know that, we're always going to need food to be able to live, we need to eat. Costco, they call it, it's one of those inflation proof, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or what they're able to do is they're able to pass what's called passing their inflation costs off to their consumer, because there'll still be such a demand for it that the consumer will pay a higher amount of premium for their good or service.
Well, it's a great model because, they make most of their money off of the membership prices, which allows them to give you that cheaper
Yep.
option.
Their spread isn't great.
Yeah.
It's not great. and I know it's their membership, right? And I think something with their gasoline is pretty solid. 'Cause
And
I've never
gas,
seen
yeah.
I've never seen a line around the fucking corner for that goddamn gas station when I drive by.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just fucking insanely long. So, good pick here, Justin. I like it. I like it holding this volume shelf area too. I think a run up back to these MAs is definitely worth a peak here. And obviously these contracts are pretty decently priced, right? I know that Dan in the small accounts will be playing an ER play. I guarantee he'll be playing Costco as one of them. They're a little bit more
I mean,
pricey.
even look at the RSI on the,
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
like it's due.
It's ready.
Yeah.
I feel definitely like it's ready. A trip back to these MAs up here, like the 5 MA for sure, right? 50, 513. We're close 504. That's 10 points, probably open around 510 ish, just depending. But look, 200 day, we finally, right, held the 200. Now we went through it, right? Okay. We went through it. Now do we go back test? I mean, wouldn't that just make sense? A back test, right?
That's what stocks do all the time.
All the time. And look at this volume shelf sitting up here as well. Okay. Everything's kind of writing on the wall here for if it's not due for a run up, it could be a post earnings bounce. Who knows, right? But the IV on these should be a great play. So, you know, maybe a possible buy any dip, you know, on open tomorrow, just depending where we open. We got no idea where we're going to open. So we'll take a peek. Okay.
Yeah, definitely my pick for the week for sure.
Yeah, no, when you text me that this morning, I was like, for sure. Definitely. That was gonna be a good one. So on to sorry about that. Oh, I went there. Okay, on to SPY. Justin and I were talking about this morning too. What do we see here? A hammer. I don't know what you want to call that. Hammer, that's just a reversal candle. You could call it a hammer, what have you, where you go way down and green on the day after gapping down. And if you take a peek, if you zoom out, okay.
Pin bar hammer, yeah.
Yeah, pin bar, hammer, whatever. Definitely a reversal style candle.
Reversal.
If you look from here to here, we made lower lows, okay, on the chart, but we made higher lows on the RSI. You would call that bullish divergence. Okay. In theory, we should have been more into the RSI down, right? We should have had a lower RSI on a lower dip, right? So now what do we see? Above, right? Above this huge, let me zoom out. I have so many lines in there right now, guys. Sorry, I was doing a lot of stuff over the weekend, so I should have cleaned this up before we got in here right now. Sorry. But let me get back to this. Okay. What do we see here? Do we see where this 390 level? Remember this 390 level? Remember this guy? Last time we were over here, we bounced like 20 points off of it. Okay. And now we visited again, based, went up again, right? So we finally now broke through it. Wouldn't a retest just be way too easy to think about happening? Well, yeah, for sure. Also, what do we have? We got a very nice gap up. Okay. Very nice gap up. So I did just a luxury of, from that recent drop that we had right down to the low, a 50% retrace basically takes us to the gap fill 61.8, whichever one, let's just 390, then 393 is above. Definitely an area I think we could get back to. Now, if you're not going to play the fibs, which is just what Justin and I were talking about earlier, and you just want to say, hey, we broke this major trend line, right? You see this from our recent lows. See how it bounced off? We bounced off here. We broke through. Wouldn't a break of the retest, or a break of that line and then a retest of that trend, which comes somewhere probably up in this area this week, what does that put us? 396.98 maybe? Is that about 4,000 SPX? About, right? Or 4,000 ES, excuse me, or SPX as well. It's up in that area as well. So we could be due for a nice bounce this week, but that's as long as what level holds. We've got to hold this basically 380 level. Okay, 380, 381, and we pretty much bounced right on out of it last week. Okay, now we've cleared this level we knew was 385. We've closed above that, and I think we gapped up like two points after hours, almost. Or we just pushed through, right? So tomorrow, depending where we open, we could easily gap down to 380 tomorrow. Like it's definitely a possibility. Okay. We have no idea what futures will do. All right. But I could tell you this action end of day that we had, right? This action that we had right at the end of the day here. This action to me, I mean, this looked like it was going to go down and go and break through the lows. I think that's what everyone was looking at. This candle up here, that made me think it was more OPEX action, more quad witching action to have buyers into the close there. That was more of a pain trade to me. It seems like everyone was thinking downside, so market said, let's go up. Okay. Probably a ton of 380 contracts, 3,800 contracts expiring worthless. That's what it seems like to me. All right. So I'm definitely due for a bounce as long as what holds. We just need 381 or 382, I guess, but 380, 382, as long as that holds. I think we see gap fill and a possibility to get up to this trend line again. So call it over 390. Okay. Over 390, back to 392, back to 396. Okay. Test this area up here. That would just make most sense to me. Now, if we were to get really low, like, I mean, the day after a MOPEX week or monthly OPEX, it happened to be quad witching last Friday. It's been notorious to be a red day. Okay. Notoriously has been known as a red day. It's just a continued selling day. So if we wanted to get lower, okay, obviously we'd all be eyeing this gap here. This gap to fill down. Okay. And then the next daily candle, I think we would really just free fall. Like if we got under this 379, I call it 378. We got under this close here, which is, probably about 378 right here. If we got underneath that, it's going to be a free fall. It would be a free fall right on down to 370. Start of this, there is a tiny gap here. You guys can't see it. There is a tiny gap right here. I think we would straight free fall from the heavens. Okay. Now, too easy of a trade, in my opinion. They want to take us up one more time. Okay. So if that happens, like we said, I think the ultimate target would be 396 to 398 this week. Very possible before there could be a next leg down to go short. Okay. Obviously above 398, we want to come back to this, the 50 MA, right? 50 MA. I think we have the 20 here as well, crossing over the 50 MA. So that would be the first stop, right? But that's all going to be up here at probably about 400 to 403. So that makes sense when we get super stretched from our MAs, we come right back to them, right?
Or magnets.
They're like magnets. Okay. Remember, we always talk about magnets.
Go ahead, one thing I want to add right there is it's like a perfect example of, demand turning supply.
Mm-hmm.
Demand will always turn into supply. Supply turns into demand on these,
like a support
charts.
Resistance flip as well. It's the same.
So think about that.
Same principle. Yeah. Good, cool. Good call in there. Okay. So now this chart's super fucking ugly. Let me just put up the SPX chart. It'll make it a little bit easier because it's a lot cleaner. Well, that's not that much cleaner, but okay.
Someone's charting over the weekend.
I know. I was doing some charting. But look, it might be easier to see some gaps, right? So, right, this level, because this was such a huge support in here, right? This 39.10 to 39.20 area, would it make sense also for there to be an opportunity to go short on this fill of this candle up, right? So this fill of the candle up being about 3,900 on SPX, okay? Also, you have to take the line up a tad. 39.10 would be where the real big support was, okay? Add about 15 points to that, 15 to 20 points for the spread between the new December contracts on ES. That brings us to that, 39.25 level I've always been talking about, right? Might be easier if I just go to that chart so you guys can see. This one's got it too.
So what exactly is ES for people who don't?
Okay, ES is the S&P 500 futures. It trades 23 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Cool.
Okay. Just so you know, it's what I use for levels because it's traded more often. It's easier to locate big support and resistance levels, especially after hours. Those are important to understand after hours movement and the overnight movement as well. Okay. Right now the spread, as you can see, right, like this ES closed at 39.02, right? But where it actually closed the day on the time being 1 o'clock. Where did it close? One sec. It closed at 38. What is that? 66. So 38.66. SPX closed at 73. I mean 38. I'm sorry, I said 38.76 is where it closed. Right. Oh, I'm sorry, 38.90. I'm sorry, I'm fucking everything up. So yes, it's about a 15-point spread. That's what I was trying to calculate for you guys. The spread right now is a little wide. Normally it's only about 5-point spread. Sometimes it's even. ES is the same as SPX. Okay. But I drew this box in here too. I want to zoom out for a sec. Let's understand the bigger picture still here. Okay. On this monthly chart. The bigger picture is this. Seasonality, September, back half of September is notoriously bearish. Let's not forget this box we're in. Okay. We had a box right here too. Remember this box? Okay. Remember this box? We also had a box right here. Okay. So it's good to understand from a technical standpoint what's happening. The box is holding up. To me, the end of the month close could come as low as 37.78. Okay. It could close lower and it could go lower, but a close area would make sense right here, right? So the macro perspective is let's take us up one more time before they take us down. Just like they did right here. Remember this? This candle came up, huge bullish candle. Everyone goes, oh my God, it fucking ripped up. And it was like, psych. So let's come back down, right? Now we've got what? 2 trading weeks till the end of the month. So would it make sense? Okay. To zoom out here or to zoom in a tad. Now this is a monthly chart, right? Monthly chart. Now you go to the weekly chart. Weekly chart, huge bearish engulfing, right? But could we possibly take us up just a tad, right? To then take us back down to what? Finish at the next major support level being, look at this level that held, right? How many times it hold down here? So you guys see this, right? That's what I want everyone to make sure they keep their eye on. Okay. You know, don't get caught up in that daily movement as much as understanding the macro trend. The macro trend is still down. Still down, but we could have a buy the dip, quote unquote, buy the dip style week or few days on a rally. That's what I think could happen here, right? Buy the dip style and bring us up, right? Bring us back up to test some major levels in here. All right. Geez, let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's really it for as far as the technical standpoint. You know, basically we want to just make sure that we hold Friday's low. And if we get above this, the high of this candle, right? The high of this candle being 386.25. We're going to go test 388, then right on up here to 390. I mean, that's going to happen. Okay. And what happens there will be critical. I would probably not try to play a breakout on that first attempt. Most definitely. Matter of fact, I'll be having puts on screen most likely because that'll be a retest of a huge demand level. And why is this a demand level? Okay. First bounce produced 30 points. Second bounce produced 20. Oh, I'm sorry. 390 to 390. Yeah, 20 points. The third bounce produced, I mean, you saw it bounce. I mean, basically when we got down here, it produced fewer points, you know, 6 or so, whatever. So now we got underneath it. Has it flipped to supply now? Do we go and test it? And everyone's sold in there. Got us through the gap down. Now we go test it. Still sellers strong there. Okay. Very possible. So the first opportunity to short would be 390. Okay. I would definitely be looking at a short in there. Okay. Now, having Powell this week kind of screws things up because we're notoriously bullish into FMOC sometimes and notoriously bullish to be bullish post FMOC as well. But those rallies typically get faded as well. Okay, so since we have 2 days before Powell comes on, I think this will be an area where we get up to it and then maybe creep higher after Powell to get up to a shortable area, which would be up here where these MAs are. Right? This 20 MA will update Monday. It'll probably be down past past 100 MA. I think it'll probably be around 398. The 5 MA is another one that of a rubber band that when we get away from it, we come right back to it. So that'd be the first price target. That's at 394 right now. That probably opens 390. And if it does, that would definitely be the first magnet we're going to. Okay. So as long as we hold pretty much 396, as long as 396 holds overnight in pre-market, okay, I would probably think that 390 comes for sure. So a move higher. We're at 390. You could look to take a trade short. Now, not full blown short, but there could be a trade opportunity to go short there. Okay, so as far as tomorrow concerned, my two trades would be long, right? Long 386 or 382, just depending where we open. Okay, opening above 386, I want to see a back test there to go up. If we open down here, I think a double bottom could be easy trade there. Okay, definitely an easy trade there. Okay, then the second trade of the upside of a rejection would be 388 first, then 390. Okay, but those are close together right there. Okay, so just want to watch the reaction there. Okay, watch the reaction. Justin, that's all I got, brother. Anything you want to add?
I think that's it. Just be
think that's
patient
it.
this week. Wait for your levels to take the
Yes.
trade.
Yes.
Don't FOMO or anything. Just really wait for your levels and take the trade with conviction.
Yep. Guys, I'll say this right now because Justin brings up a good point. Taking the trade with conviction. I'm going to do a little masterclass, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We're going to do something. It's going to be tomorrow night. Justin, by the way, it's going to be tomorrow night.
Dude, I'm
you're
there.
in?
I'll be a
Okay.
student. I got my pen and pad right now. Ready
Cool.
for it.
Okay, so it will be tomorrow evening. I think tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard. Okay, 6 p.m.
Mhm.
Pacific Standard. Okay, so that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern. We will record it, but I think we're just going to record it for the members. I don't think we'll make this one public.
Nope, it's private. Let's make it a private one.
This will be private for just the members. So members, if you miss it, you'll get the recap. Okay. And if you're not in the Discord community, then you won't get it at all. Sorry about it. But the wolf pack comes first. So with that being said, yes, Eddie said, this must be Eddie from the chat, Edward Lushik. Levels played equals you get paid 100%. I will be using that. But what I'll be doing tomorrow, guys, I'll be going through contract and asset movement, how they move together, how you can identify a better trade to get into, some strategies of risk management of what you can do from contract length and duration that you can buy or sell that'll help people that might be getting stopped out or just have a little less confidence in their trade plan. Okay, so it'll be really good. I went over with Boba the other night. He really liked it, so we're gonna do it for you guys. Okay. That's all I got. Ned says, nice to hear you guys. Nice to hear you, Nedford. We miss you, Nedford. I'm glad you're back. We love and appreciate you guys, man. Look out. I'll put a little thing out in the announcements about tomorrow evening to get that going. Look to go for a solid hour. Okay. So carve out that time if you guys can. Maybe a little Q&A at the end. However, I can help you guys out. And that's it for me, man. No risky logging off. I'll see you guys later on in the pre-market. Peace.